more so his team. He's with Team Canelo now. I think they probably forced him into fighting me. I don't think he actually really wanted this fight. This is a fight that he tried to avoid for as long as he could, but as you see, he couldn't avoid it for that long. I'm in that fighter. I feel like all my fights is one sided, so I'm planning on going in there April 30th and doing the same exact thing. So I don't know how much better I can get, but I know that I'm not even in my prime yet, so I can get a lot better than what I am already. Can expect a regular Shakur Stevenson fight on me using my skills and my mind to get me ahead on the scorecards. But you got to understand that Oscar is a fighter with a lot of willpower, so I have to be prepared for him trying to drown me and get me into a brawl or if it's a big brawl. But I don't plan on doing none of that. I plan on going in there and doing what I've been doing in the gym, making everything easy work, and that's my game plan. So you can expect that. Definitely, if I get through this fight, how I've been looking my last few fights and every fight that I done had in my professional career, I see myself on the pound for pound list. When I say that off of just from me going back to back fighting champions with no problem. It's not like I'm fighting somebody who got a bunch of belts already. I'm fighting champion after champion, and then you got to understand Valdez has been champion since I was turning pro. Like Valdez has been defending his belt since I was having my pro debut. So just to fight somebody that's been defending belts and being undefeated, right after going against Jamel Herring, I think I deserve to be on the pound for pound list. Even if I'm not the top of the list pound for pound, I know for a fact that I deserve to be on the pound for pound list. I'm not just fighting cherry picking fighters. I'm actually fighting fighters. So getting a lot just to know like I can hold my own with one of the best fighters on the planet is a blessing. And it definitely boosts my confidence to a higher level because I know that fighters like Oscar Valdez and people that's my weight, my size, they're not on the level of a Terrence Crawford. So I definitely gain a lot of confidence from it, and I feel good about it. Very important. I feel like I'm gonna try to do the undisputed a little bit different. Try to go get every belt myself. So it's very important, but I got to get past Valdez first. I can't look ahead and think about what's happening next. I'm really focused on April 30th right now. I think that I'm after this fight, I should become a big star, and I just feel like it should be a lot easier to get these fighters in the ring. I'm gonna be having two belts. I think a lot of people want to fight for two belts, so I can see other people getting in the ring. But like I said, right now we focus on Valdez, and I gotta get Valdez out the way, or we can't even have this conversation. So I don't know if other fighters would do that, but it's all business. I'm not sure on his situation. I don't know what happened, how it went down. So I don't know like the terms of the contract or anything like that. But I wish him nothing but luck. I feel like experience never could play a part with me. You got to realize I've been boxing since I was 5 years old. That's probably what like 19 years in the game already. So at the end of the day, I'm a great fighter, and I got enough experience to be in this situation that I'm in already. So I'm not looking at it like he's the more experienced guy. He's a great fighter at the end of the day. I can't take nothing from him, but I think that I'm the better fighter. I'm going to give out the recipe, but I will say I don't think there's nothing he really could do about it. But I like watching the Sweet Pea versus Chavez fight. Chavez is his favorite fighter, and Pernell Wood is one of mine. So I love watching that fight. I actually was motivated my last fight just off the fact that I had a baby on the way, and when she came here, I wanted to be a two-time world champion. So now that she's here, I want to unify the division. I want to keep trying to make her proud because when she get older, she gonna realize how great her dad was. So I'm definitely motivated, and I'm trying to put on a show for her. Definitely, probably never been in there with somebody as strong as him and with that type of will. Only person I can think of with the willpower I would say was Joette, but he didn't get a chance to even show his willpower because of my skill. So I can say the same thing. I agree with that. That's a statement that I can agree with, but it don't matter come April 30th. He could do whatever he want. I'm coming there to do what I always do. Probably not. You know, I like to kind of watch certain fights that I'm probably going to emulate. So I might even be watching Pernell Whitaker at that time, or maybe like an Andre Ward fight or something like that. So I probably won't be watching, but I wish them nothing but the best. I hope the whole world tunes in and help them get their support. Like this is a big fight. I'm taking a big risk fighting somebody 30-0, who's also a champion. And I feel like, depending on how I perform, I feel like the world gonna love me, and I definitely can become a pay-per-view superstar, and I will become a pay-per-view superstar. So I don't know how strong he was. That's depending on who looking at it, but I definitely got some power, and I'm definitely a great fighter who can get these guys out of there. Just tune in April 30th. I'm ready to show the world what I've been trying to show them since the beginning of my career.
I think people judge over your last fight, and I've heard this before in boxing. You're only as good as your last fight to the eyes of the fans. So we know that my last performance wasn't my best performance. In the contrary, I would say it was one of my worst performances that I've done through all that was going down in that situation. And on the case of Shakur Stevenson, his last performance was his best performance against Jermaine Herring. Was a good fight. He looked very well. So I think that's what influences the bets. But that doesn't bother me at all. On the contrary, it just brings and adds more motivation to training camp. And being honest, it was one of the best training camps that I had, because I've always tried to prepare myself physically for all the fights. I'm always giving the 100%. But for this fight, I was physically and mentally preparing myself for this fight. So I'm very focused, and I'm very excited to step in the ring this April 30th. I think that 2021 was a great learning experience for me, because it started off high, and then it eventually turned out to one of my lowest I've ever been in my career. To all that being accused of the supplements that we call the cheater, and then the bad performance that I did against Consensao. It was up very high in early 2021, and at the end, I felt like I was at the bottom, with all this criticism. But that only made me learn a lot of things. It made me realize that who really is beside me, and really made me realize that what the real importance of my career is. I shouldn't listen to other people and other analysis, just to be focused on the main thing, which is just win the fight and do my best. And that's what's made me the fighter that I am right now. Right now, I'm very focused. There's nothing out there that can bother me right now, because I'm 100% focused for this fight. It's a fight of my career. It's a fight of my life. And I'm taking it very seriously. So 2021, I would say, was a great learning experience for me. In the gym, we got a great talent. I mean, obviously, kind of loud about this, but we got other talents in there that we all sometimes stop the sparring sessions. He'll step in the ring and try to tell me and teach me certain things, because he has more experience than us. He has fought the best in his prime, and obviously he has more experience. And there's a couple of things that he knows that could benefit me in the fight. So it's definitely helped me a lot training beside Canelo and besides the hand of Eddie Reynoso. And we just all feed of each other. He the dream is to become one of the best in history, and we just all feed off each other.
Very cool. And
that time I fought with Miguel Brichet, I'm feeling very excited, because it's a tough fight. Every time there's a higher competition, I rise with the competition. So we know Shakur Stevenson is a good fighter. We know he's a good boxer. So it's gonna make us bring the best out of myself. So I'm very focused. I know the Miguel Brichet fight was one of my best, and then after that year, it wasn't my best performance at the end of my career, but that's just transforming into the fighter that I am right now. I'm going in there very focused, very, very concentrated, physically and mentally prepared for this new opposition. This is a fight that people has been wanting for a long time. Shakur Stevenson has been mentioning my name for quite some time already, since I was a featherweight, and it got under my skin after hearing so many times that we were scared of him, that we were ducking him. That was never the case. We were just always looking for bigger and better fights. Now, where Shakur's a two-division world champion, he's the current WBO world champion. I'm the WBC world champion. It makes perfect sense to define who's the best fighter at 130 pounds. So I'm very excited for this. I've been taking this fight very seriously. training camp has been going so well. Training beside with Eddie Reynoso, we've done a tremendous camp, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to step in the ring and show my skills. You know, a fighter that likes to go in there and brawl. A lot of people Olympian that I could also box, and the fighter going up against a fighter like Shakur Stevenson, who we know that isn't going to risk it, isn't going to try to bang 100%. 100%. That's something that definitely helps me. Being the underdog is just a motivation. I live in my own world. I live my own movie, and sometimes being the underdog just brings more motivation to me in camp. Having the odds be against you is just it's just something that brings out the best out of me, especially going against the competition. You know, we know Shakur Stevenson is a great fighter, southpaw, tall, and very defensive. Um, and I definitely think Shakur is going to make me bring the best out of me because I always ride with the competition. So definitely, I learned a lot over the course of the years, and I think that's what's going to help me win this fight. It helps me a lot, you know, working besides someone like Canelo Alvarez. You know, it's just amazing. It's just amazing because we all share the same dream, and I want to accomplish everything that he's already accomplished. You know, I want to be one day unified, undisputed. I want to maybe go up in divisions, and that's something that I've always dreamed since I was a little kid. And you got this fighter in front of me, which is Canelo Alvarez, who's already done that. So it's obvious that he already knows the path. He already knows the ways. He's fought the best. So he has way more experience than all of us. So there's obviously a couple of things or two, one thing or two that he knows that we don't know that we can use in the fight. So there's a lot of techniques that he steps in the ring with me. We don't necessarily spar, but he steps in the ring with me and he tries to teach me certain things that are going to help me the day of the fight. They're going to help me in tough situations that will help me get out of a tough situation or just help me just come out victorious. So it's definitely been a great learning experience working beside him. Um, if there's something I would pick from him, would be this mindset, the type of mindset that he has is just a winner's mentality. Everything he does is about winning and everything. And then that's just something that I try to pick. I try to learn from the best. You know, there's something you could always learn something from somebody, and I always try to learn from the best. So it's definitely helped me a lot being working beside him, and especially working with Eddie Reynoso. That I feel that over the years I've been improving my technical skills. Back home, my mother, my grandmother, and my friends tell me, "Hey, you got to work harder for this fight." And I always think to myself, well, that's physically impossible because for every fight, I work very hard. Every time I go step in the gym, I leave exhausted because I work very hard for every fight. It doesn't matter what fight it is. So I'll think to myself, I can't work physically harder, but what I can work on is mentally. So I've been training physically and mentally for this fight because we're ready for whatever. You know, Shakur Stevenson is not the type of fighter that's going to want to risk a lot in the ring. He's not going to stay toe to toe. More importantly, I got to be mentally prepared because he's the type of fighter that likes to get in the boxers' heads, and I can't let that happen. So I got to be physically and mentally prepared for all 12 rounds. If the knockout comes, let it come. But I'll be prepared for all 12 rounds to do and give it my best. Shakur Stevenson, sinceramente, lo veo como un peleador norteamericano, un peleador que representó su país en Juegos Olímpicos como Estados Unidos, así que no lo visualizo como un boricua o un puertorriqueño. Y creo que tienen diferentes estilos, y normalmente cuando se enfrenta un boxeador boricua, un peleador puertorriqueño, es de más choque, de más guerra, una pelea donde el público le gusta ver. A la gente le gustaba ver a Tito Trinidad porque el Tito Trinidad se sentaba en el cuadrilátero y le gustaba pelear. A la gente le gustaba ver a Miguel Cotto porque se paraba en el cuadrilátero y daba buenas peleas. Y todos estos peleadores que vienen, que son boricuas, se identifican de esa manera peleando, ¿no? Una pelea que donde dan un buen espectáculo al público. En el caso de Shakur Stevenson, tiene un estilo más norteamericano, más boxeador, donde le gusta desplazarse. Y realmente así lo visualizo, pero la verdad es que espero lo mejor de Shakur Stevenson porque yo vengo bien preparado y simplemente vengo a dejar todo arriba del ring. Yo estoy consciente que es de las peleas más difíciles de mi carrera hasta ahorita, siendo que Shakur Stevenson es un peleador complicado, es un peleador zurdo, alto y que se mueve muy bien por el cuadrilátero, usa muy bien sus piernas, entonces es un peleador complicado donde no le gusta arriesgar, que eso hace las peleas complicadas, pero no imposible. Por eso hemos trabajado muy duro al lado de Eddie Reynoso en el gimnasio aquí con Canelo. La verdad que hemos hecho un gran trabajo y vengo bien preparado para ganarle. Para todas las peleas me entreno físicamente el 100%, pero para este campamento me preparé físicamente y mentalmente al 100% para ganarle a Shakur Stevenson. Que sí, sigo con esa mentalidad. Creo que lo he dicho en varias ocasiones, que la última pelea no fue de mis mejores espectáculos, sino al contrario, de los peores. Y la verdad que siento que es mi oportunidad para tratar de tomar todo lo que he logrado durante toda mi carrera, porque la verdad que le he dedicado muchos años de esfuerzo, de sacrificio y ganas a llegar a tener el nombre que tengo yo ahorita. Y yo sé que si le gano a Shakur Stevenson, pues me pondría un poquito más cercano a la lista que yo quiero estar en la lista mejor libra por libra y posiblemente en un futuro llegar a estar en la lista de los mejores boxeadores mexicanos de la historia. Entonces, eso es lo primero que yo tengo en mente. Y lo otro es, si sale a boxear, si sale a hacer la pelea complicada, pues nosotros tenemos que hallar la manera. Tenemos plan A y plan B para pelear contra Shakur Stevenson. Si él quiere hacer la pelea complicada, vamos a tener que romper esa barrera, cortarle las esquinas, trabajar las zonas blandas posiblemente y poco a poco irlo deteriorando para que caiga para los últimos rounds. A toda mi gente, quiero agradecerles a toda mi gente mexicana, a toda mi gente latinoamericana que me ha estado apoyando durante toda mi carrera. Llevo para 10 años como profesional y les agradezco a toda esa gente que ha estado conmigo en las buenas y en las bajas. Ha sido una carrera muy buena, muy importante para mí y le agradezco a toda la gente que verdaderamente ha estado conmigo. Y quiero que sepan una cosa, yo nunca les voy a prometer un knockout, nunca les voy a prometer una pelea del año, pero lo que sí les voy a prometer siempre a mi raza, a mi gente, a toda mi fanaticada, es que siempre voy a dejar todo arriba del ring. Mi corazón, mi esfuerzo, mi sudor, mis ganas, siempre lo voy a dejar arriba del ring. Ahora sí, como decimos los mexicanos, vamos a morir en la raya ese 30 de abril y haré todo lo posible para poner la bandera de México lo más alto posible y traerme esos títulos. Hemos trabajado muy duro para esta pelea y creo que tenemos todas las facultades para ganarle de ambas maneras. Yo tengo una buena trayectoria amateur, 2 veces Juegos Olímpicos, que me ha ayudado a enfrentarme a varios zurdos y varios peleadores altos, como en este caso Shakur Stevenson. He tenido buenos sparrings que me han ayudado, entonces estamos preparados para todo, estamos preparados para ir a 2 asaltos, ganándole de una manera de presión o ganándole boxeando, o estamos disponibles para si se presenta la oportunidad, si lastimamos al rival, pues tratar de acabarlo lo más pronto posible, pero realmente nos preparamos para todos los obstáculos que llegue a traer este Shakur Stevenson. I got this. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody out there. I want to thank all my Mexican fans and all my Latino fans that have been supporting me throughout this career of mine. This is going to be almost 10 years of my career that I've been professional. And I just want to thank everybody who's been supporting me in everything. And when in my lowest and in my highest, the fans that have been with me, I really appreciate this. One thing I want to tell you for this fight, everybody, I will never promise you guys a knockout. I will never promise you guys a fight of a year. But what I will promise everybody is that every time I step in the ring, I'm going to give it my best. I will leave my blood, sweat, tears, heart, cojones, everything inside the ring. Now, like we say in Mexico, vamos a morir en la raya. We're going to give it everything we got April 30th. We're going to try to put the Mexican flag as high as possible. And we're going to try to bring those belts back home.
Thank you so much for watching this video. And make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV. And give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.